WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for staying up with us tonight. Mississippi is keeping some COVID-19 restrictions in place at least until the end of the month. Governor Tate Reeves announces today that he's extending the safe return order by 2 weeks. It will now expire June 29th. Courtney Ann Jackson has more.
As cases, transmission, and hospitalization stay steady, so will the restrictions, something that Governor Tate Reeves says is necessary.
My hope would have been that we could have no restrictions in Mississippi in the month of June, but that's just not what the data suggests.
The governor and health officials look at several factors when making those decisions. An alarming trend they're finding is more young people getting the virus.
I'm concerned about what that then community spread looks like and puts more and more of those individuals in the vulnerable category at risk.
I'm about to say, if you're over 65, avoid your grandkids unless they know how to behave, because we're going to continue to see more and more problems unless we honor these social distancing issues.
Hospitalizations are also a factor. This chart showing there hasn't been a drop-off in ICU or ventilator usage.
The number of hospitalized patients is 442 for today. ICU beds 156, and ventilators 103 patients on ventilators. The critical element in the potential shortage is going to be ICU beds.
Those levels are certainly manageable, but they're also at a level that is as high as we have seen for a long time.
There are some restrictions being loosened in the order. Gyms will be able to increase capacity from 25% to 50%, and bars and restaurants serving alcohol will have the 10 p.m. curfew lifted. But Reeves announces those changes with a caveat.
Changes should not be taken as a signal that the risk of COVID-19 is gone.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
The changes to the order won't take effect until Monday morning at 8. Mississippi community colleges plan to go back to normal operation this fall. The Mississippi Association of Community Colleges says that all classes are set to begin with added measures to help keep students, faculty, and staff safe. The state's community colleges switched to online mid-March due to COVID-19. Each school has put together committees and adopted protocols to safely restart. Individual colleges will be making announcements in the coming weeks. COVID-19 has had a huge impact on the economy, especially small businesses. Many were forced to shut down. Reopening has been going on for a few weeks. Recovery may be a long way off, but as our Bobby Martinez finds, there could be some help on the horizon.
Mississippians are best when we help each other.
They are the heart of our downtown districts. Main streets lined up with our favorite stops, mostly all locally owned and small businesses.
Mississippi, the fabric of our economy really is made up of small businesses.
The vision first took off in Virginia, and after seeing success there, Mary Sanderson says they decided to give it a try in Mississippi.
We feel like there's any state that is ready to help each other as Mississippians, and so we set it up here.
Brian Sanderson says the MS 30-Day Fund is a forgivable loan that can provide small businesses up to $3,000. And while businesses are not asked to pay the money back, he does hope they pay it forward.
It's not a repayment schedule, but we ask them to pay it forward to other small businesses that are in need once they're back up on their feet.
So how do you know if you are eligible?
The application process is very clear on a few things. You have to be a Mississippi business. You have to be a Mississippi resident. You have to have been, your business has had to have been around for a year.
The organization just recently launched on Monday, and so far Brian says hundreds of small businesses have applied.
We've had a lot of applications already, and we're focusing on just continuing to get the word out and get as many contributions in the door as we can to help small businesses.
Chris Collins works at Liberty Bell Barbershop in Starkville and says many small businesses are in a huge hole, and the MS 30-Day Fund might be the ticket to help pull them out.
I think that's great. And a small town like this that's very community oriented, especially the downtown area where there were multiple businesses that were shut down for periods of time and stuff like that, I think someone being able to step up and do something like that can only benefit for people around here.
To learn more on how you can apply, just visit our website, WCBI.com.
Perfect timing with some clouds in the region this evening. Look at our time lapse from downtown Columbus. Gorgeous weather here this evening. Temperatures also gorgeous. Very low humidity. quite nice out there. Blaze of color in New Hope this evening in eastern Lowndes County and in West Alabama too. A pretty nice sunset with some of those clouds in place. Now we'll call it mostly clear to partly cloudy for the rest of tonight. And look at these temperatures already down into the mid-60s. Winona, Oxford 66, 70, and Tupelo 69, Columbus. So that's the trend that we love to be on. We wake up the temperatures around 60 degrees, lots of sunshine all day long. By midday tomorrow, back into the lower 80s, low to mid 80s in the afternoon. It's looking great. Your full forecast is coming up.
An Idaho man suspected in the disappearance of his wife's 2 children makes his first court appearance today. This as remains found on Chad Daybell's property are identified as those of his wife's 2 children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. CBS's Chris Martinez has the latest.
755, State of Idaho versus Chad Guy Daybell.
Chad Daybell made his initial appearance in court after police executed a search warrant at his home in Rexburg, Idaho, Tuesday. They say they found human remains buried on the property and placed him under arrest.
There he is!
On Wednesday, the families of 8-year-old J.J. Vallow and 17-year-old Tylee Ryan confirmed the remains found on the property are indeed the children. Daybell is charged with 2 felony counts of destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence.
Mr. Daybell, do you understand the allegations on both counts that have been brought against you?
Bail was set at $1 million, even though the charge only carries a maximum prison sentence of 5 years. The developments come more than 3 months after Lori Vallow, Daybell's new wife, and the mother of JJ and Tylee, was arrested for defying a court order to prove her children were alive. The couple has refused to tell police where they were. This is the last known image of JJ taken last September. Tylee was last seen earlier that month in Yellowstone National Park. Their mother was extradited to Idaho in March from Hawaii, where the couple had relocated right after they married. At the time, police wanted to speak to them about the children and Chad's former wife, who had died suddenly just 2 weeks before Chad and Lori's wedding. Her death is also under investigation. Results of an autopsy are pending. Chris Martinez, CBS News.
Here at home, a Monroe County teenager is missing and deputies are asking for your help to find her. 16-year-old Holly Whipple was last seen last night around 11 o'clock. Now she's 5'7" and 105 pounds. She could be traveling to Como or Byhalia. If you know where she is tonight, you're asked to call the Monroe County Sheriff's Department. And also just to the north in Tishomingo County, a family needs help finding a missing Belmont teen, 16-year-old Jacob Bursing. Last seen May 23rd. He's 5'9" and weighs about 160 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. Tishomingo County deputies say that he might be going to Hackleburg, Coleman, or Elkmont, Alabama. If you know where he is, you're asked to call the Tishomingo County Sheriff's Department. Aging at home is not an option for many senior citizens. However, technology is evolving and the choice to live at home as you age is becoming more reasonable. As Cash Matlock shows us, one area security company is making it easier for people to check in on their elderly family members.
Sean Stone owns Alarm Pro in Columbus. His business primarily focuses on private and commercial security. However, some of his products are geared towards an older demographic.
So we have wellness devices. Certain cameras that we offer have a way to keep an eye on elderly people that are aging at home versus losing their independence and going to a home of some kind.
Once set up, Stone says the device is designed to be user-friendly, even for someone who doesn't regularly use technology.
They're able to push a button to call whoever's set up to receive the notifications if they need assistance. We also have medical alert buttons and that kind of thing. But the camera is a way for, like for you, example, to peek in on your grandma to see if she's okay.
The cameras are motion activated, but that doesn't mean the alarm is easily triggered.
Cameras are smart cameras to where they'll pick up vehicles, people, animals that will distinguish between the three.
Chad Moody has been an Alarm Pro client for almost 2 years. He says he has security systems in both his home and his business.
Whether it's at work or home, anytime somebody's got some kind of security system there, they know that they can check on anything that's going on around there. Easy as a phone, you know, you can log in from the computer, you can log in from your phone right there and check it.
Stone says his systems can help keep older relatives safe and in their homes longer.
You know, if they want to age at home, this is the way to do that.
The security systems also have an option for a necklace that will alert family members and police if the person wearing it falls down. All right, we're going to send things back over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, this evening it felt really nice out there.
Man, this is a great evening.
Compared to yesterday with all that humidity.
Yeah, I just took a little jog around the building. It's great out there this evening. Tomorrow, find that backyard pool. Not too bad, low humidity, bright sunshine, 85 degrees, sunscreen needed, of course. Your full forecast is next.
CBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It was a great evening to be hanging out by the lake. This is the view earlier from Brooksville, a gorgeous sunset with that little bank of clouds just at the right time. Got a little burst of color there on the western horizon. Speaking of the lakes, the water tomorrow, there you go, low to mid 80s for actual temperatures. A wind from the north at about 10 to 15, so maybe a bit of a chop out there, but no rain. Sunscreen needed. Obviously, the sun very powerful. Now, our first alert forecast tonight, this is appropriate for right now. Look at Buck already getting ready. There's the garden hose, the pool, the backyard. We've got warm temperatures, all that sunshine here for the next few days, mid to upper 80s going forward. So be like Buck, find a cool place, find that garden hose. And you may need to use the garden hose because we're going to be dry for the next 7 days. Our rain chances basically zero. Better opportunities for moisture back to the east here for the next 7 days. That is through next Wednesday. Here's our Louisville, Mississippi time lapse from this evening. Speaking of that sunset, gorgeous with some of those clouds in play. And you can see right now just a few patches of clouds around the region. No issues really to speak of at this time. Stronger storms back to our north today, and that's where the storms are going to be in the near term. So patches of storms across the country tomorrow, maybe some severe weather along the eastern seaboard. Friday, nothing doing locally as far as thunderstorm or rain potential, as we just mentioned. So that's the way it's going to be for a while, pretty quiet. 69 degrees, very comfortable at Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon at Lamar County. And you can see other locations already into the mid to upper 60s as well. So a great evening. We'll be down into the 60-degree range tonight. Lots of sun, 70, or at 7 o'clock tomorrow, 63. By noon, 81, 85 our forecast high tomorrow. Upper 70s going into tomorrow evening. So low to mid 80s here locally across our region, North Mississippi, West Alabama. And basically the same story across a good chunk of the Twin States. A cold front moved through earlier today, and that has provided relief as far as the humidity factor. High pressure comes on in for Thursday, and we'll just have a series of high pressure systems here for the next few days through the weekend into next week, and that will just keep things high and dry. So if you're looking for rain or active weather, go somewhere else. That is not going to be happening here. Here's your AccuWeather 70 forecast. Mid 80s for the next few days. Comfortable nights around 60 degrees, if not some upper 50s. Warmer temperatures by the weekend, low 90s. Low 90s and more sun next week. There's your forecast, and more of the shows coming up.
WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. June is Cataract Awareness Month. Now, cataracts are one of the leading causes of blindness in the U.S. Tonight, we learn about some other risk factors in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dan Bennett, an ophthalmologist on staff at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. And tonight, I'm going to talk to you about the risk factors and signs and symptoms of cataracts. A cataract starts out small at first, but has little effect on your vision. You may notice that your vision is blurred a little, like looking through a cloudy piece of glass. A cataract can make light from the sun or a lamp seem too bright or glaring. Or you may notice when you drive at night that the oncoming headlights cause more glare than before. Colors may not appear as bright as they once did. No one knows for sure why the lens of the eye changes as we age, forming cataracts. But researchers suspect that there are several risk factors besides advancing age. These include ultraviolet radiation from sunlight and other sources, diabetes, obesity, smoking, prolonged use of corticosteroid medications, previous eye injury or inflammation, previous eye surgery, significant alcohol consumption, and family history. The most common symptoms of cataract are cloudy or blurred vision, poor night vision, double vision or multiple images in one eye, frequent changes in your eyeglass prescription or contact lenses. These symptoms also can be a sign of other eye problems. If you have any of these symptoms, check with your eye care professional. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we will discuss treatment for cataracts.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
The first round of the MLB draft is in the books. More on the players off the board coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
The highest draft pick from Mississippi State since 2013 goes to second baseman Justin Foscue. Foscue is picked up by the Texas Rangers as the number 14th overall pick, the highest since Hunter Renfroe going as 13th overall 7 years ago. Foscue is the first Bulldog to go in the first round of this year's MLB draft. Through his 67 games back in 2019, Foscue picked up 14 homers and 60 RBIs. Foscue saying after being selected that it took plenty of work to become first-round material.
I've never been the top-ranked kind of player. In high school, I never was highly touted or heavily recruited, but I always felt like I belonged in the SEC and the ACC, that kind of level of play. So I had a chip on my shoulder to prove people wrong. I believed in myself, and I just went to work, and I put my head down, and I didn't listen to the outside noise with the rankings and such. So just having that ability to not worry about the noise and distractions, and always believing in myself, I think that's how I got myself to this point.
Foscue may have been the first, however, he wasn't the only Bulldog to come off the board this evening. Going as the 30th overall pick to the Boston Orioles is shortstop Jordan Westburg. Westburg played 66 games for the Maroon and White during the 2019 season with 6 homers and 61 RBIs, hitting .294. Westburg is the second Bulldog to receive a 2020 invitation to the major leagues. Also, something to note, state commit Austin Hendrick won't be making his way to Dudy Noble Field in 2021. The outfielder out of high school went as the 12th overall pick to the Cincinnati Reds. However, still available to go through the rest of the draft. A couple more out of high school. You have infielder Blaze Jordan and pitcher Jackson Fristow. And of course, nobody can forget about sophomore pitcher JT Ginn. Ginn was selected 30th overall back in 2019 by the Los Angeles Dodgers. However, again, not the case this year as he still remains available. Navigating sports through the coronavirus hasn't been easy for coaches. Now imagine being a first-year head coach. That's the reality first-year Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin has been living in after being hired in December. And with spring football being canceled, Kiffin hasn't had much of an opportunity to get to know his team as the 2020 season approaches. Kiffin saying as the players have been welcomed back to campus, he's come to the realization how he needs to become more acquainted.
Spring ball, I think you get to really know your players. You're on the field with them, you're interacting with them. You put faces with names, and they get to know you, how you can help them on the field, and we've missed all that. So. Unfortunately, when we were in our meetings, last Monday, talk about all the stuff going on nationally and just listening to the kids, I realized, how little that I know our kids, especially as a head coach, position coach, you had your meetings where you got to know them and stuff. But so, we're behind, obviously, football wise, but that really hit me how far we're behind relationship wise.
The Southeastern Conference will join most of the college football world and hold its media days virtually. The conference announcing the first ever virtual SEC football media days due to the impacts of the coronavirus. Football media days was scheduled to be in Atlanta, Georgia from July 13th to the 16th. The dates and times for the virtual event now have not been announced yet. The ACC and the Sun Belt remain the only conferences not formally to announce a virtual football media days at this point right now. Despite not having a softball season, West Lowndes infielder Takara Givens will continue her playing career at Mississippi Valley State. The talented second and third baseman joins a roster that looks to improve from a 5-16 record this past season. Givens says she looks forward to being an asset to the Devilettes.
I chose Valley because they're a winning team, and I feel like if I go there, I can be a great help to their team. I learned to be a team player, never give up, and always play my best.
Givens continuing on to say that she's eager to visit campus and get to work this fall. That's it for sports. We'll have more for you when we come back.
Lots of rain so far this year. No rain expected really for at least the next 7 days. Mid-80s for the next 2 days, Thursday, Friday. Overnight lows comfortable tonight. Tomorrow night, probably Saturday morning too. We'll gradually moderate back into the lower 90s as we get into the end of the weekend and early next week, Scott. Great pool weather again.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time we saw a forecast was 7 days with no
It's been
rain
a long
chances.
time.
A long time. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow.